Hello, everyone, and welcome to Life Changing Stories. This channel is brought to you by Life Changing Courses, an online platform where people can learn and develop through online courses and facilitators that can help them to achieve their goals and desires in life. Today, we are joined by Jason Harris, a life alignment practitioner and teacher. He runs transformational workshops and he's just an all round awesome guy. Hello, Jason. How are you?
Hi, Michael. Thank you for that very sweet introduction.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Okay, so what I do. Um, Hi, I'm Jason. uh, I've been a life alignment practitioner since about 2001, so it's been a fair amount of time at this point. Um, I always had an interest in therapy, so even before life alignment, I was practicing conversational counselor.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I absolutely love helping people. My motivation to do this is every single day that I have the opportunity to help someone come into their own being and recognize their own value.
Wow. That is so
Amazing.
special to really have the privilege to be able to do that. And that's why I created this channel to hear stories and to hear about people that facilitate change like you do. Tell us more a little bit about life alignment. It's quite, it's around the world, but it's quite unknown still after 30 years.
Um, so yeah, life alignment. That's quite a big topic, really. Uh, we have some basic descriptions to break it down, like simply calling it energy medicine.
Yes.
Um, and that really is the crux of it. Life alignment is a way of doing therapy, and all the therapeutic tools you learn. And as a life alignment practitioner, we like Michael said, we're international, but all of us have different skills, different bases of our education,
Mm.
and Lifeline is a way of using that education to help people by following the energetic flow through the body, recognizing where there are energetic blocks, getting the client to make a new choice about it and to shift it. Saying that, just to be clear, it is more like a co-creation because it's not just about like a normal therapy where it is the client that is making all the shifts themselves. As the facilitator, we also have the opportunity energetically to support that shift. So yeah, it's much more than just normal therapy. We are able to access energetic aspects of ourselves and the client to allow them to support them in their growth, expansion, and personal understanding. So
Yeah.
it's a really big topic.
It's really, really powerful. As a life alignment practitioner myself for over 20 years as well, I'm really passionate and I just love the process and the depth of the healing because it's quite different to other healing modalities, eh?
It is. So very early on in my life, I went to talk therapy for a fair amount of my youth to try and deal with an inner struggle. And you only get to a certain point. Just talking about it keeps it mental.
Yeah,
And in my experience now as a therapist, you need more than the mental.
yeah,
This mental gives you understanding. It gives you understanding as to where you are and potentially where you should be. But
yes,
it doesn't really give you the inner tools, which only comes through experience. So life alignment allows you to experience the emotional charge around that
mm,
ailment, whatever that
yes,
perception is. Uh, and that gives you a much deeper understanding of the pain, of the roots or the thing that's holding you back, which gives you much better tools about how to address it. So,
Absolutely. It's more about coming out of that headspace and more into that being or heart space, and just really experiencing and working through the trauma, or whatever it is you're dealing with, from a different space, not just from your head. And that's really powerful, eh?
exactly. It makes an immense difference, immense difference. Not that I am putting down psychotherapy. It definitely has amazing uses,
Yeah, of course.
you
Everything's got
know,
its place.
right. But I do, on a personal level, believe you need more than that to make appropriate shifts
Yeah.
in your own field.
So that's quite a unique career. It's quite a unique place to find yourself in and to be doing. How did you get here? What's your story? What was your life-changing moment? Where did it all
Right.
begin?
Um, okay, so just to be clear, Michael, at this point, I should talk about my personal stuff. Hey?
Yeah, let's hear about your
Okay.
personal stuff.
Okay, here's the personal stuff. So, from a very, very young boy, I developed quite a chronic case of social anxiety. Which, I mean, there's reasons for everything. I was raised by a narcissistic mother and a absent father.
Okay.
Lots of uh, beings of my age have the same issue, by the way.
Yeah.
It's not unusual. But my mother took it upon herself to make me stronger and tougher. So, as whenever we were in a social setting, she used to practice ridiculing me, embarrassing me in public, etc., etc., which developed into quite a chronic case of social anxiety.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it was quite debilitating. And I went to 6 different primary schools. So every single primary school I was the new boy again.
Mm.
Had to make friends, but of course, being that I had chronic social anxiety, I couldn't actually do that. So, yeah, my grandfather, by the way, is a palm reader. Uh,
Oh, wow.
and he taught me how to read palms. And that was my first real introduction into understanding human beings. And thank goodness I got those tools, because I didn't learn very many social skills, as you can well imagine. I mean, I was very isolated from social situations because they terrified me.
Yes.
Um, but I began to understand the human mind. And through palmistry and then astrology, something that I am a palm reader and an astrologer. And that was really my first point of call in human psychology, the esoteric
Yeah.
understand. And then I'd say my biggest breakthrough came through in, I was studying something called psychophonetics. This was just before I became a life alignment practitioner, which life alignment allows me to hold all the stuff together.
Yes.
And my teacher in psychophonetics, his name is Yehuda, he developed his own psychotherapy through his understanding of the teachings of Rudolf Steiner.
Yes.
And Rudolf Steiner wrote something called The 7 Conditions of Esoteric Training. And Yehuda developed from that the 7 conditions of, actually, I have it right here. Let me just see how Yehuda named it. The 7 conditions of personal and spiritual development.
Oh, wow. So what are they?
Um, okay, well, I'll read them for you if you like.
Yeah, let's hear
So,
it. We'll get back to your story in a second.
yeah, they were incredibly transformational for me as someone who struggles with social anxiety, as I began to realize it's not about me at all. A revealing understanding when you are terrified that people are constantly criticizing you, you know? So the first one is this. It is the commitment to take personal responsibility for one's well-being on the physical, etheric, psychological, mental, and spiritual levels, based on one's own inner guidance.
I mean, you could spend a whole lifetime just on that one.
You can indeed. They are amazing, all seven of them. And
Yeah,
they really gave me a massive, incredible shift of understanding about my relationships with other human beings. And
yeah,
it's simplified it. It really is so simple, you know? Yeah,
and
so do you want to keep reading what they are or
yeah.
just
Let's hear
focus?
number two.
Number two, the second condition is the commitment to continually move from judging people from the outside to seeing them and their situations from the inside, from
Wow,
their own point of view in connection with oneself and the rest of life.
wow.
Yeah. Which, of course, is speaking into being compassionate for other people's personal struggle
Without judgment.
without judgment. You know, the third one is the commitment to regard one's internal dynamics, one's thoughts, feelings, emotions, and desires as a reality. You know, and in normal society, we are taught to suppress those sort of things,
Yes,
you know.
especially
But
emotions.
exactly, are they real? You know, but the point is they are a real experience.
Mm.
The fourth one The fourth one is the commitment to continually distinguish between one's truth and the truth of others.
Oh, wow.
Once again, it's a big understanding, you know.
Mm.
In relationship, there's more than one truth at play. There's
Yes,
more than one reality, you know,
completely.
and realizing that in itself solves. I mean, it takes so much charge out of all of our relationships, you know. Of course, you have to learn respect for the other person's reality, you know,
Absolutely.
and from that also you develop compassion.
Yep. Love it.
The fifth one is clearing the path between resolution and action.
Oh, wow.
I mean, as human beings, we make realizations about ourselves all the time, and we make commitments. Okay, so, oh, you know what? I did that. That was bad, you know, and it's recognizing when there's a blockage, when there
Yeah.
is something holding us back from actually actioning that resolution. You know, so respecting that fear, because it's some sort of fear, you know, it's
Yeah.
respecting that fear and doing something about it.
Yeah. Love it. Love it.
The sixth condition is experiencing gratitude as a regular mode of being.
Wow.
Gratitude and amazing energy. And yeah, my goodness, by being grateful for the things you love rather than focusing on the things you don't like, you
Change
create and invite that energy into your life all the time. And you're
changes
able to
everything.
exactly. And the last one, the seventh condition, is really a combination condition. It is the consistency of fulfilling all the previous six conditions.
Consistent.
Exactly, maintaining it, not running away from it.
So yeah, that's great. So you got to the point where you got all these realizations, and that's where you were in the story. Now, what did you do with them?
Right. So from the, and I've already spoken a little bit into it now.
Yes.
From this, really, the second and the fourth condition there were the big things for my social anxiety, as I realized once again that it's not about me. You know,
Yeah.
that whenever anyone is judging you, they are judging you through their own experience, their own filters. And I was able to learn to see their pain, their discomfort, their stuff quite clearly when they were expressing judgment on me. You know,
Yes.
and that changed the whole energy around it. I was able to learn compassion rather than attacking them for their pain, by the way, because I mean, they're doing that already. That's not a useful way forward.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes, so rather than doing that and reacting to it, you know, because there's a reaction and responding, I was able to respond in a very centered place, and you know, seeing their pain, seeing their discomfort, I could speak from a place of love and compassion, which immediately diffuses their judgment.
Amazing.
You,
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it was an amazing tool, just that in its own. But then also from that, learning that not to depress my feelings, because at that point, I'm sure you can imagine social anxiety, feeling judged all the time. You develop defense mechanisms, which
Mm.
invariably leads to be numb.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Um, So one of those lessons there is learning not to suppress my feelings and respecting them. These are real, my real experience, and not to poo-poo it. It's this is life. I'm human being.
Exactly.
This is part of why I chose to be born.
Yeah,
I mean, it's got a big part of the human condition is experiencing it.
absolutely.
Yeah, so it was an amazing, just those seven conditions were an amazing thing in my self-awareness. And that was the big shift for me, I think. I mean, obviously I've had shifts all the time. Every time I have a life where I'm in balance, by the way, I
Yes,
have a
yes, yes.
new revealing experience, a new insight comes to me, and a new growth opportunity appears. So I mean,
Yes.
like there's many of them, but I say the initial one for me was those seven conditions.
And understanding them, or just the realization of them, because they're so huge. And I think as you grow and develop and reach another stage and you revisit those seven, I think you can get like even more insight. And then you realize you don't understand them at all because it's on a completely different level. So it's those are lovely, very powerful, very powerful. Yes, yes. And then how did you find life alignment?
Okay, so life alignment. My wife and I were working in Mozambique at the time, and one of our mutual friends started studying life alignment, although she wasn't getting it. So she kept sending her notes to Tanya and I. My wife is Tanya, by the way. Kept sending her notes to Tanya and I, and we kept reading through it, and it was amazing. Both Tanya and I uh, have had an interest in esoteric psychology from the moment, I mean, way before we even met, and it was really one of the big kinships between us, which is why my wife and I resonate so closely because we have
Mm,
this such a similar interest.
mm.
So when we saw these notes coming from Life Alignment, they were addressing all the holes we were discovering as we were on our own esoteric journey.
Amazing.
And I was looking into that. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
amazing. So when we got back to Cape Town, both Tanya and I went for sessions with a practitioner and teacher at the time called Arlene Hanks, who's now in Australia. And it was an incredible tool. Arlene was using tools that she had learned outside of life alignment, in life alignment.
Amazing.
And I realized that life alignment is an umbrella. It can hold all my education, everything I know, uh, in the realm of therapy, by the way,
Yes,
obviously, I
yes,
mean,
yes.
um, can be used in life alignment. It's an incredible tool to hold everything together. It's just a way of thinking, a way of applying this knowledge in an energetic way. And yeah, it's an incredible tool. But yeah, that's how I discovered life alignment.
Yes. And then obviously you met Jeff and you became a practitioner.
Yeah, so it was a while before I met Jeff, actually. I started studying life
By the
alignment
way,
through
Jeff
Arlene.
is the founder, the originator of Life Alignment. For anyone who doesn't know.
Good point. I probably should have highlighted.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it was a while before I actually met Jeff. My first point of call was Arlene, and I actually became a qualified practitioner before I'd even met Jeff. First time I met Jeff was when I did module 3, and Jeff is an incredible human being, so comfortable in the work that he does,
Mm,
and I consider him one of my mentors. I've had a few mentors in my life, and I mean, male mentors. I've had
yes.
quite a few female mentors as well. But I consider him one of the most prominent male mentors in my life. And I've learned so much by watching him practice on other people. He is a calm, present, caring, loving attitude. And from that, I believe I have learned, from watching him, I have learned to be a much better practitioner.
Yeah, absolutely amazing guy. Yes. So, do you think it's important for people to take a journey of healing? Do you think it'll add value, or will it just stir the pot and bring up stuff that yeah, shouldn't be disturbed?
Right. That's a
Value.
good question, Michael. That is a good question. Um, yeah, no, I think everyone should have therapy, by the way. They do not teach life skills in high school, in primary school. These are not skills that are taught to you. They
Yes.
don't teach you how to be a human being
Yeah.
and come into alignment with your core, with your failures, although I don't believe there's such a thing as a failure, just to be clear. Um, but of course, modern society does project that, particularly with the whole marking system in
Yes.
school, you know. But yeah, they do not teach you appropriate tools how to be a human being. So I think everyone should go on a healing journey. It is essential, you know, even those who, well, just to be clear, all those who are perceived as successful human beings, they have definitely gone on their own healing journey. There's no doubt
Yes.
about it. But I mean, all those who feel like fresh out of varsity, they jump in there and I've got the highest marks. I'm going to study. I'm going to get this thing going. All those people are going to eventually be met with a perception of failure, you know,
Mm.
because, you know, everything in life takes practice.
Yep.
Nothing just happens, you know. So it's guaranteed at some point you're going to have an immense failure and you're going to
Yes.
have personal crisis in that regard, you know. So I think it's essential everyone should go on healing journeys. I mean, it's essential for your personal growth, personal understanding, your personal ability to achieve and attain your goals. All of that starts with a deep understanding of self and deep acceptance of self.
Yeah. And I think the important, I mean, you can achieve your goals without healing. You can go for whatever, you can make lots of money, but we're talking about a deeper, fulfilled, richer experience towards that, which is so much more rewarding, right?
Right, exactly right. And of course, I don't know everyone on the planet, just to be clear. Okay. And and I am limited to the people who I see in therapy.
Yes.
You know. Um,
But you
but
tap
in my
into the group consciousness, right?
exactly. But if I could just complete that thought, you know, so I mean, in my experience though, even those who have achieved immense financial success and never had therapy
Yeah.
at a certain point are going to feel unfulfilled and
Mm.
collapse because money is not the answer to fulfillment.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Mm.
Okay.
Which, of course, is a misconception that our current society promotes that, you know, we are perceived successful by vast amounts of cash we have, you know.
Yes, yes, yes.
But I promise you, you will not. I mean, we choose to be born from. Is it okay if I speak into a quite a deep esoteric
Of
understanding
course
of
you
it?
may. Yes.
Okay. So I mean, and just be aware that as I'm speaking this, this is coming from my understanding.
Yeah.
Okay, this is subjective. Okay, but so I mean, we choose to be born from a place where there are no boundaries,
Mm.
where there isn't an ego, where there isn't a need to achieve, you know, to be whatever, you know. But we
Yes.
don't come from a place where there is separation. And
Yeah.
then we're born into a physical body. We choose to be born to a physical body where there is separation, you know, which is an interesting dichotomy already that we're struggling with. And we have to learn boundaries, etc., etc., etc. But we choose to be born to learn about human experience and have human experience. Okay, and that involves relationships. That involves other human beings. That involves learning to love. That learning to experience joy. Um, and yes, money can pay for things that
Yes.
have that have joy around it. Okay, but joy starts from here.
Mm,
Okay, it's got nothing to do with money.
yeah.
True success happens with true acceptance of self and allowing yourself to just experience and enjoy the life around you without buying into victimhood all the time. I mean, that's just an ailment in itself. Okay. But
Well,
yeah, I mean,
it's so
I,
fascinating that you say that. I've been on holiday where I've encountered families where, oh, we are having another holiday, just another experience to experience this place. And next year we'll go to Paris, and next year we'll go here, next year. And it becomes this whole thing. And then I have a different experience of a family that is getting together and experiencing a holiday, same place, same area, same beach, you know, and they can afford it exactly the same. And the money's got nothing to do with it, but the joy aspect, the happiness aspect is so different,
exactly.
and that's the value of taking this journey of just finding out there's a deeper aspect to it. And money can buy wonderful things, but we're looking for real substance. And
Ex- exactly. I mean, we're all born into this planet with like I said, we move from complete unity into a sort of singularity,
correct,
where it's
yes.
balance, and we're all born into that with a desire to want to be special, to be seen,
Mm,
to be unique,
yeah.
which of course we naturally have, but we need it recognized from the eyes of other people, which of course is an ailment in itself. But that's our starting point. That's our starting point. So, when we go on holiday and we haven't looked at our true fulfillment, our true purpose, our true, you know, what actually does bring us fulfillment, what actually does bring us joy. If we haven't addressed that, we can go on holidays indefinitely, you know,
Correct.
and we only get bored going on holidays because it's not going to be fulfilling for us
Mm,
because we haven't truly connected to our joy,
yeah.
our own fulfillment, our own purpose. And all of those need to come from self-exploration.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I think life alignment is definitely a way to get into a state of being, to uncover who you really are and find that joy and get rid of all the stuff that blocks that.
You are quite right.
Mm.
Life alignment, because, so we do lots of, I don't know if Michael's spoken about this, but we do lots of our stuff through dowsing. Okay, and we
Yes.
work through lists and lists and lists. And because of the way the system is created, we're able to bypass a lot of the inane chatter that comes up to protect us from that vulnerable inner world. We can
Mm.
go straight to the root of it, which is
Yes.
incredible as a tool.
Well, it's been absolutely incredible speaking to you. It's been eye-opening. I love your insights. Give us a pearl of wisdom before we leave. What would you like to share with our viewers?
Okay, so pearl of wisdom. So my pearl of wisdom comes from my own subjective experience, which of course was and still is social anxiety, but it has a lot less of a charge than it did when I was a teenager.
Yeah,
Um, it is this. Just remember, it's not about you. Okay? People's judgments of you, people's things that they project onto you, it really is only expressing their own inner turmoil. It has nothing to do with you. View people's judgments and criticisms with compassion. They are revealing more about themselves than they are about their understanding about you. Just
absolutely.
remain present. Don't take it personally.
I love
People
that.
just opportunity to express their pain to someone.
Mm.
And this might be an opportunity for you to hear their pain on a truly deeper level by inviting it more. Don't take it personally. It's not about you.
Yeah, one of the four agreements. Don't take it personally.
Exactly. Another
Wonderful.
technique, the four agreements, an incredible technique. Yeah, I
Yeah.
learned so much. Yeah.
Well, we could talk for hours, and it's been great chatting with you. Thank you so much. If you want to get hold of Jason, anyone, his email address will be in the description below. He does a ton of work online, so you can get hold of him from wherever you are in the world. Thank you for watching, everybody. Thank you, Jason, for being on the show.
Thank you, Michael, for inviting me, and much love, Michael.
And much love to you. Everybody, go check out our courses at Life Changing Courses. Become part of the community, like and subscribe. It's been great chatting with you, Jason, and everybody. Until next time, goodbye.